Welcome to qnawire.
All right, chapter 16, problem 110 from Chemistry Central Science. We're going to be listing the known compounds and increasing acidity. So first we have our NH4NO3, and we're going to break up into the ions. So we have NH4 and NO3 minus. So when we're looking at our NH4 plus, it's a conjugate acid of a weak base. So this is a acid, but it's of a weak base. And then we have NO3, which is a conjugate base of a strong acid. And so whenever we're looking at this, when we add these two together, the NH4 plus is going to decrease the pH where from the original of the strong acidity, but this is still going to lie acidic. So part 2, we're looking at NaNO3, and we already did NO3 above, so we're just looking at NaO plus, and this is the conjugate acid of a strong base. And then, like we said earlier, the NO3 is a strong acid. It's a conjugate of a strong acid. So when you have a strong base and a strong acid together, it becomes neutral. All right, next we have CH3COO in H4. So we're going to have the CH3COO and then the NH4 plus. We already know that this is a conjugate acid of a weak base. And then CH3COO is a conjugate base of a weak acid. Since they're both weak, they're going to both neutralize each other out as well. Also, since they are very weak, their Kas and their Kbs are close to each other, so they're very easy to neutralize with each other. All right, so now we have NaF. We already did Na earlier. It is a conjugate of a strong base, and then we have our F minus, which is a conjugate base of a weak acid. So if we have a weak acid and a strong base, therefore it's going to lie on the lower side of the basics area. And then the last one we have is our NaCH3COO. And this one, we already did our Na, and this one's going to be a strong base, but the CH3COO is also a conjugate of a weak acid, so it has a little bit of a stronger base. So strong base with a little bit is going to lie basic as well. So now we need to put it in order of increasing acidity. All right, so if we're increasing our acidity, the thing that is most acidic needs to be on the farthest end, and that is going to be our NH4NO3, because when we look at all of our answers here, that's the only one that lied acidic at all. And then we have our next two, that would be the two neutral ones. And whenever we're looking at this, we had a strong conjugate base of the Na plus, and then we had NO3. And so then we're going to put the NO3 because the next one was 2 weak ones. And when you have 2 weak ones, it lies closer to the 7. All right, and then so then we put our next weak one, which was the CH3COONH4. And then next we have our 2 basic ones, and then to be able to figure out what the 2 basic ones were, we had a strong base for the NAF, and plus a weak acid. So this one would be this one would be less basic than the strong base with a conjugate of the other one. So first we're going to have the NaCH3COO, and then NaF. And the reason why NaF goes first is because the Na of the conjugate acid is a strong base, which it won't really change the pH, but the F minus is a conjugate base of a weak acid, HF, which will increase the acidity. Whenever you're looking at the weak acid for the H2H3O minus, the conjugate base of a weak acid will also slightly increase it. And so therefore, that's why it's first.